I think you can be traditional and still have a job, but you definitely need to have dinner ready.
Okay. What about you? What makes a woman traditional? What are traditional duties of a woman?
Be more nurturing, emotionally intelligent. Yeah, taking care of kids. I wouldn't want to work if I didn't have to, but if I had to work, maybe doing something fun. And yeah, cooking, cleaning.
Okay.
I feel
about you?
like I'm a traditional woman. I mean,
You're traditional?
Stop the cap.
In what way are you traditional?
I mean, I cook, I clean, I suck dick, you know. Fuck.
Okay.
Traditionally American. I mean, a little bit. Sorry, a lot of women have OnlyFans, so that's kind of traditional now. So
Is it traditional or is it just a new norm?
it's a new norm.
It's not
Let's
traditional.
make it a tradition. Fuck it. Turn up.
Okay.
Okay, so in your eyes, what makes a woman traditional?
Well, cooking, cleaning, sucking dick,
Sucking
watching
dick.
their kids, loving on their children. That makes a woman traditional.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
What about you?
I think it depends a lot on your culture because each culture is different. So, I
What
mean,
would you say is tradition? What's widely accepted amongst all the cultures, and you would think that makes a woman traditional?
I think just whatever she wants to do with her life. I mean, it's not the same thing anymore as it was before. Like,
Well, that's what makes it
everything you guys-
traditional because that's what it was before.
yeah, but
AKA tradition.
nowadays it depends more on your culture. It depends, like, what do you feel happy doing?
Okay, so
I
what's
think-
that in your eyes? What's traditional now?
Just being yourself, doing what you like to do for a living, or, you know.
So you're telling me it's how you feel? It's tradition?
No, I'm telling you, it depends on everyone's culture, and it depends on your, like, wherever you're from. It depends on what you like. It's not like it used to be before. Like now,
So
It
you change
doesn't-
the definition of what traditional means yourself.
because what's tradition? Like only cooking and cleaning, and that's what you guys mean.
No,
There's
we're
more
asking
We wanna
you.
hear your point of
We
view.
want to hear your point of view. I mean, it's fine if you think traditional is
How you-
whatever you feel. I guess we'll go with that. But
Yeah, but I mean, like, it depends on your upbringing. There's not only one way of being traditional.
I think I get what she's saying. Like, if
Yeah.
you grew up in a home and your tradition is to take off your shoes at the front door,
Yeah.
then that is your tradition.
Yeah.
If you we come here, we have to take our shoes off. That's the tradition here, right? But we may go to other podcasts and other places where you walk in with your shoes on. That's not a tradition. So you can't take that to every podcast and say, what's the tradition for this for podcasts? And it's like, what's the norm? It's like, there's norms everywhere. So I'm just defending what she may be trying to say.
Definitely.
So I guess
That's all.
rephrase the question for her. Like, what is a traditional woman in Dominican Republic?
Yeah, but I'm not
What's tradition in your home?
my home. Traditional woman in my home.
This Aikido is funny, bro.
yeah, like
It's
like it's incredible how the girls are going like leaping, making crazy jumps to defend something. It's like, I mean, it's a pretty straightforward question. What are the traditional duties held by a female?
Yes, but there are many ways that you can reframe that question. I mean,
Well,
there's
he's
not only
asking how
one way.
you define traditional.
Yeah.
I
But,
define
like, you have
tradition.
flat out-
babies.
Yeah, it's not really.
Like, if you had a
How
man
to
right
define
now, what
tradition.
would be tradition in your home with him?
Just going to work, doing what you like, being having
Bruh.
a happy
I'm just
home.
gonna put doing what
I
you
mean-
like.
You can
All right.
Whatever you like.
Whatever makes you happy, that's what it is.
All right.
sure.
What about you?
I-
What are the traditional duties of a female?
Of the female is allowing the man to lead the home. I think that's the number one.
Okay.
I say cooking and cleaning, but it also
So
entails
following a man.
allowing him to lead. Wouldn't say follow, allowing him to lead.
But if he's leading, then that means you're following by definition.
Yeah. Okay.
So following a man. What else?
And just being respectful to, each other's feelings. I think as a woman, you're supposed to be nurturing. You're supposed to be understanding. You're supposed to be supportive. But I just think those are not just womanly traits. I think those are great partner and characteristics in a relationship. So cooking and cleaning is subjective depending on your occupation, depending on the time management. But I do definitely feel like as a woman, you do handle your household, cook, clean, make sure your man is sucked dry before you leave, all those good things.
All right. What about you? What are the traditional duties of a female?
Oof.
It's a hard question, but I would say I definitely agree with the cooking, cleaning.
Okay.
I think those can become shared responsibilities as like kids come into the picture.
Do you do that right now?
I do that right now.
That's good.
Yeah, I do that right now because
Wait,
I take
The
pride in
cooking
those.
and the cleaning or sharing it?
Both.
You live with your guy?
I do,
Okay.
but I take responsibility for when I need to take responsibility. I
Who's
would
the primary
also say,
breadwinner, you or him?
probably me right now.
Okay.
No, probably.
That's
you
why
are.
that nigga shares chores.
Yeah,
chores.
No, that's not true. I have a fiance and he washes dishes and he washes clothes too.
Do you make more money than him?
I don't.
It's respect.
He's
It
the
has-
breadwinner.
Yeah.
He's the breadwinner.
Does he make significantly more than you do, or is it comparable?
He is retired,
Okay.
completely
Yeah.
financially wealthy and secure.
Oh, he's bored then.
Yeah, he's bored.
No,
bored.
he's far from bored.
And he cleans and cooks and stuff too.
Yeah.
Does he enjoy it?
So we have this thing like
Is he like a chef or some shit?
no, but he's
Nobody
more of a
enjoys
like
cooking and
if I
cleaning.
cook, it's like a you know how you get your pussy ate and it makes you come. He knows how to turn me on. So it's kind of like if I cook and he cleans the kitchen and washes it, I want to suck dick even more all night.
Yeah.
I mean,
There you go.
So he's following your lead?
No, it's just a knowing your partner's love language. You know what I mean? I'm a woman, so I always cook and clean. It's nice some nights when I cook and slave over a stove and feed you and I've done everything all day that you say, yo, babe, go
What
sit
is it,
down.
like 90-10?
What do you mean 90?
Like 90% of the time you're doing all that, and then maybe 10% of the time he'll come.
I would
he'll clean
I
up?
would give me 80.
Okay, so he'll do it 20% of the time.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, so
wanna
for
add
you,
some-
you
yeah.
said you guys share the chores. Okay.
Yeah, I was like, but I take pride in those things, and I feel like it helps me make the home how it should be. So I think that's a responsibility of a woman is making a home, being nurturing. I also think there's an aspect of like being very artistic and creative and knowing how to do traditional things like sew and make clothing, play piano, like recite poetry, things like that make you hyper feminine.
Okay.
That I think are very traditional and that I enjoy myself. So
All right. Okay. What about you?
I mean, I guess when it comes to being like traditional, it makes me, I guess, think back to like men versus female, like hunters versus foragers.
Yeah.
So being like a woman, it's just more of like providing on like the easier ask. Like the man does like the hard part, and you're there to kind of take care of like cleaning, dishes, getting the food, the shopping of the things that aren't like out of the way, but it's just being there and making sure everything's ready for I guess when they return home. That's traditional for me.
Okay.
Okay.
What about you?
I think that traditional means in a woman perspective household environment. It's the manager of the household in a sense.
And what are the manager duties then?
Well, make sure if you don't have the necessity of cleaning and cooking yourself, you make sure that works, and that the plates that the significant other or somebody asked for are actually made. You take care of the kids 100%.
All right. What about you? What's traditional female roles?
I guess I would consider like traditional female roles, cooking and cleaning,
Okay.
maintaining the household.
Go ahead, continue. Go
Okay.
ahead.
Yeah, it's cooking, cleaning, maintaining the household. I think another really like important traditional womanly trait would be like having empathy, being kind, like being able to like feel emotions and like, you know what I'm saying?
grounding your partner.
100%. Grounding your partner, being there. Because, I mean, traditionally men, like,
How would a woman ground her partner?
like, for example, I feel like men, you guys work a lot. Y'all are sometimes, for the most part, like the breadwinners of the house. And with work comes stress and comes, conflict in your head. And as a woman, you come home and you're having a bad day, you're on edge, you're angry, whatever. Like, you come home to your woman and she grounds you and she levels you and she talks to you and she's there for you. She's empathetic. She listens, she's an ear for you, and she's someone who has completely different biology and a completely different point of view from you that, maybe you could get knowledge from and learn from. And yeah.
You mean get head?
Perspective.
That too,
Yeah.
Giving head,
All right.
sure.
Okay. Do you think Western women are traditional? Yes or no?
That's a good one. We'll start here.
And just to personify this is the United States,
UK,
Canada. Pretty much any first world English-speaking country, Australia, New Zealand, etc., where feminism is pretty prominent. Do you think Western women are traditional?
No.
Okay.
I think we're definitely like getting further away from what was traditional. I think it's important to break tradition. So it's like, yeah.
Okay, so you say no and it's a good thing.
Yeah, I do think so. 100%.
All right. What about you?
I think now more on day, it is starting to be more important per se, but it's not over here.
All right, so you don't think Western women are traditional?
Nope.
Okay. Do you think that's a good or bad thing?
It depends what they're seeking for.
Do you think it's good for women in general?
Yes.
You think it's good for them? Okay.
What about finding a man? Is that still good?
Finding?
No. To be honest, if they're okay being independent and taking care of their household and taking care of their environment and stuff like that, no, they don't need a guy.
All right,
Okay.
interesting. What about you? Do you think Western women are traditional?
I don't think Western women are traditional. No.
Do you think that's a good or bad thing in general for females?
I mean, it's I guess not the best opinion. It's an unpopular opinion, but I think it's a bad thing.
Okay.
Like,
Why?
I mean, personally, like, I don't know, like, why everyone, like, got crazy and wanted to, like, do their own thing and do that. Like, I'm totally cool just hanging out and, like, baking all day and staying at home.
I agree.
That's a me thing, but, like, that's the way my dad raised me, and that's what I'm okay with.
Yeah.
And that's just, like, what I enjoy to do. I mean,
Okay.
I work on, same thing, like, kind of goes with what I do for a career, though. I'm a yacht stewardess. My job as a yacht stewardess is to do laundry, take care of my guests. Like, I always like to joke, like, when people ask me, like, what do you do for a living? I like to say I have a paid internship to be a housewife,
Yeah.
like,
Right.
at the end of the day. So it's just, like, I'm just training for the day, like, I'm not trying to get the bag. I mean, I will if I can, but, like, I want to be successful. I mean, I invest. I'll be successful, like, doing that on the side. But aside from that, I'd rather just be taken care of. I'd rather my man do the thing, you know? My dad.
That makes
do the
sense.
thing. I'm a daddy's girl.
Okay.
So, like, I call my dad when I'm in need, and then, like, when my dad can't be there for me anymore, then, like, my man better be. I don't know. That's
Okay.
just me.
All right. Do you think Western women are traditional? Yes or no, in your opinion?
Majority would be a no. It really depends on where you are, because I think, especially in America, there's a very split culture.
Okay.
Where people are becoming more traditional and then, really breaking that mold and not following tradition.
So no. Do you think that's a good or bad thing for women in general?
In general, change is good, so I'm going to say yes.
So you think it's good? Okay. All right. What about you? Do you think Western women are traditional? Yes or no? And do you think that's good for women?
I think Western women are definitely not traditional,
Okay.
and I think it's a bad thing
Why do you think it's a bad thing?
because those untraditional women are probably going to end up single.
Okay.
9 times out of 10, and it's not your fault, but you have a choice and a chance to change it. I don't think a lot of women grew up like the young lady sitting here or myself with male figures and examples to see what it's supposed to look like to be a traditional woman. A lot of women and men are not raised in homes or and shown how to raise a family, how to be a leader or a follower or be submissive, or this is how you take care of your family. This is how you support your man. This is how you keep a man. And I hate the terminology of trying to keep a man, but this is just what it is. So, I mean, my mama taught me, like, even being 12 and from showering certain times of the day to cleaning up behind myself, it's like, you'll understand what this means later when you have a man. And I didn't understand it then, but now when I'm in my own household and doing certain things, I find myself like, oh my God, I'm just like my mom. Like, I'm cleaning up after my man, and you would think it would bother you because you're like, help me. The untraditional is like, you're just taking your clothes off and leaving them at the door and you're not picking up after yourself, but he pays all the bills. He should be able to throw them wherever he wants. The compromise is he loves you, so he's not just going to leave it at the door. But if he does, you better not complain about it.
Yep.
All right. Cool. What about you? Do you think Western women are traditional?
No.
No? Okay. Do you think that's a good or bad thing for women in
It's
general?
a very good thing
It's a good thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Why?
because we deserve to do whatever we want. If we want a good job, we deserve to get it, and it has nothing to do with being single or not. I don't think it affects your relationship status.
What doesn't
and
affect the relationship status?
being untraditional?
Do you think it'll be harder to find the man you want, though?
It doesn't. I mean, I'm single now, but it doesn't affect me. I don't feel like it affects me. It depends on other things.
Would you want a man that's going to protect and provide for you?
I do, but I still want to do my own thing. I still want to get my own bag.
So you want a guy that can protect and provide for you and be traditional, but you don't necessarily think you
He
need
doesn't
to be
have to be traditional. I mean, he can do his own thing as well.
But him doing his own thing is protecting and providing for you.
No,
Which is
I
what you
think
want.
being traditional is it's like restrictive. You can do many things. I mean, you can be a good wife or a good girlfriend, but you can also do your own thing, have your own job, get your own money.
Yeah.
You get me? It has nothing to do with it. It doesn't limit your, like, you don't have to limit yourself.
Yeah.
That's
you
what
call
I
yourself
think.
a feminist?
I do. Yeah.
Makes sense.
But I don't feel like I mean, we need men. I don't feel like I'm against men or anything like that. I just think that we deserve to do our own thing and it doesn't affect our relationship status at all.
There's boundaries to doing your own thing though as a woman. Like I'm successful, I have my own job, I make my own money, but not at any point do I come in the house and like throw my muscle, my feminine muscle around, like I make money so I don't have to listen, or I can dress however I want. And yes, untraditionally, I didn't have the most traditional job or career choice or ideology. But once I met a man who's saying, listen, if you're going to be with me, this is the type of woman that I like, you have to decide what you want to do.
And why do you have to limit yourself? For example, if we want to dress a certain way.
No, I didn't say you couldn't dress any certain way. See, most of the stuff that a single woman is wearing and dressing, she's trying to attract a man. I just feel like you can wear certain things and then still have the same mind frame of I'm respecting my man.
Yeah, I'm not talking about respect. You can still respect. Obviously, you have to respect. You have to, those are like core values. But you also can do your own thing. I mean, it doesn't have to affect, if I'm untraditional, I'm never going to be able to find my Prince Charming. Like, we deserve to find our
Give
Prince
me
Charming.
one example of when you say do your own thing. What do you mean by do your own thing?
When it comes to like, like having your own job, going after your dream job, your dream career, things like that. Like not wanting to like, I just want to be home and bake. And I respect that. I respect that a lot. I'm not judging. I'm just saying also you can do more than just having a husband. Like having a partner.
I had all of those things. And when I got my man, it elevated 10 times more.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, from finances to credit to the way I think, the way I carry myself, whatever self-respect that I thought I had, it just elevated 10 times more. But that's when you find the right man.
And
Of
he's
course,
your partner
right.
too, so I feel like it's different if you're in a situation with someone who also prefers tradition and you also are the same way. You found someone that fits into what you're looking for.
Of course.
Not every single man out there, not even most. I meet very little men who would expect that, and I have many male friends, and I have conversations like, do you think, like, would you leave someone if they're not cooking, cleaning every day? Like, if I had my own life, talking to exes and stuff, it's never been a problem. And I've noticed even men respect me more because I'm able to be like, listen, like, I'm here, I love and I respect men. Don't get me wrong. This is not some man hater type stuff. Trust me. It's just like I am my own individual person. I am a whole different human being, and my life does not just depend on if some dude's gonna fall in love with me one day. Yeah, maybe there's a certain caliber of men who won't like me because of what I do or because I'm not traditional. But I don't want to be with those men. The men that are okay with that and that support it and love an independent woman who just wants to do what she wants, like, they will come to me. And the men that want tradition will find women who love to be traditional, because I respect that as well. I wasn't raised like that, so I never saw it. Therefore, how am I supposed to sit here and be passionate and really want to be a traditional housewife for you? I don't know what that looks like.
But traditional is like, you got to think about it. Like, I think traditional is like you have to come in knowing how to cook, clean, cook, and all those things. I wasn't the best cook. My man is a better cook than me.
Yeah.
So he's taught me it's
Those are
okay. You don't have to
skills,
come in with
yeah.
these requirements. You just have to
Yeah.
be a good learner and a good listener. And so
Yeah.
the word independent keeps being thrown around.
AKA coachable.
You have to be coachable. And,
All right.
and-
I hear
but,
that.
But I just think the word independent is being thrown around. And once you get in a relationship, you are not independent anymore.
Yes, 100. Yeah.
Why
All
not?
right,
the
so
beauty
let me
of
just,
it.
So you think no, women are not traditional in the West, and you think that's a good thing because they deserve to, what was it, get their Prince Charming anyway?
Yeah. Yeah, regardless of.
All right. What about you? Do you think Western women are traditional? Yes or no? And is it a good thing?
Yes, I do think we are traditional. Like, the more things change, the more we stay the same. Like, the more you put us in situations where we have to cook, clean, we're still doing that. There are women that are still cooking and cleaning.
But in general, do you think women are traditional
Yes.
in the West? Yeah.
Yes, I do. I'm sorry,
Okay.
I do.
Okay. And do you think that's a good or bad thing?
It's a bad thing.
Why is it a bad thing?
Because, like, I don't know. Well, I guess it's a good thing. I mean, still we know how to feed our families, take care of our families. You know, we still know how to do that. I'm a hoe and I know how to fucking cook and clean and take care of my family.
Okay, so
Okay, at least you admit it.
so you think it's so you change your mind. You think women are traditional and that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Okay. What about you?
I don't think women are traditional, and I think it's a bad thing.
Why?
I grew up in a household. My parents are still together, 37 years. Like, my dad provided, protected. My mom took care of us. You know, was always there, always at everything. I did have a good life. I know most people don't that I'm meeting. You know, especially in Miami.
Uh-huh.
But I do think it's a great thing. I mean, I've had no traumas until I started dating men. You know, I mean, I was pretty in the clear. In the clear.
Blame it on us. Blame it on
You
us.
know, I blame myself too, who I pick. But yeah, I think it's a bad thing because I don't know. No one's seeing, like, no one's having really great relationships. There's always there's so much baggage with people now. Everyone you date has so much baggage and trauma. So.
All right. What about you? Do you think women are traditional in the West, and do you think that's a good or bad thing?
They are not, and it's a bad thing
Why?
because it leads to consequences like having
Such as?
having children out of wedlock,
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
and just trauma build up that they don't deal with.
Please stop shouting.
You want me to speak louder?
No, I
Okay.
can hear you.
Anything else?
It also leads to abusive relationships,
Okay.
domestic abuse. I feel like
Okay.
if women were a little bit more traditional, it would just
Help.
that just
Don't you
it
think
would help.
you
Yeah.
see domestic violence mostly in traditional style relationships?
Yeah, you could argue that.
Male-female relationships?
Sure.
All right.